do you work smarter, not harder, Joe? Well, we're going to combine our Picks and Pizza podcast this week with what we saw from the OG today. That's because Joe Olvia is out of town in Detroit for some youth hockey action. I'm here. Anthony Guerra helped me do the OG proper today. So we'll use some parts from the main podcast today. We'll blend them in with my good friend Josh Goodson from RTP Mortgage. We'll make our college picks, and voila, Picks and Pizza just as you like them, right there in your feed on Apple, Spotify, Google, you name it. If you haven't subscribed, rate, follow yet, please do all of those good things. Leave a review, please. Welcome all of them. 5 stars only, positive vibes only. So you're going to see the background change a little bit. You're going to see Anthony join me. We're going to go through our NFL picks, followed by our college football picks with Josh Goodson. Before we hit those, I would like to point out my guy, Ryan Malley, over at Wings Over. He says to me, hey, Joe, I want to be on the Picks and Pizza podcast. And I'm thinking to myself, well, Ryan, yeah, you can come on the podcast anytime. He's like, no, I want my ad on the Picks and Pizza podcast. So here's what I can do for you. Head over to wingsover.com. As you can see, it's easy to order online. The thing I love about Wings Over, Ryan doesn't screw around. He's not making cheesesteaks. He's not making nachos. He's not making anything that isn't a wing or a tender. They got wings. They got tenders. They got tots. They got fries. Nothing else in the world that you need from your wing place. Can't tailgate without wings. You can't watch that Monday night game without wings. So go to wingsover.com. Punch in your spot. Mine is Raleigh. Check out the prices. Everything is crazy now. This is the best deal in town. So get those wings. Sweet chili are my favorites. Do me a favor. Go to wingsover.com and tell them about it on the social medias. Hey, the OG sent me. Picks and Pizza sent me. Every Thursday, we make NFL picks. We answer a pizza question of the week. We'll do those here. How's that sound?
That sounds phenomenal. I'm at home.
It does sound phenomenal. It sounds good to me. Feels good to me. As always, we go through the standings all year. And if you're not familiar, go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, Google. Search for Picks and Pizza, Picks plus Pizza. You will find us. It's me and Anthony once a week. And we have a season-long bet to see who can get. If I win this bet, I get my name on a menu item on the digital menu at Oakwood Pizza Box. If you win the bet, you get a bottle of brown liquor of your choice. And look at this. Last week, you went 1-2. I went 2-1. We are now technically tied. We're going by the record. We're not going by the money amount because you hit a Josh McDaniels future.
Wait.
That goes into your account, but that could be the tiebreaker. How about that?
Wait.
That could be the tiebreaker.
So
the money amount could be the tiebreaker.
Money amount doesn't matter.
It will be the tiebreaker.
Okay.
Okay. So we're both 13-13 on the season. I went 2-1. You went 1-2. We had been doing the Jets game every week, a prop of the week, and then a lock of the week. Since I was terrible at the props, and that you hit another prop last week, you're now 6-2 on the year on props. So, heck, if you wanted to do all props, you can do all props plus the Jets game. But no, we're not going to do that. So let's kick this thing off. We've got your lock of the week. Which way are you going?
All right, I'm going to lock in. I like the Chargers at home.
Okay. Why?
Getting 3 points versus the Lions. I think they played well against the Jets. They do have to go travel back cross country. I love the offense, so I think they're going to come together. Herbert's great. I'd love to have him on my team.
But are you picking the Chargers or are you picking against the Lions who burned you on the road?
Both.
Okay.
I watching the Chargers play. I could see this. They're in they had that meddling. What are they 4-4 in the year? Like the middle of the road. I could see them now going on a win streak. Let's get control of this thing. They got a good team. They're much better than that record. And the Lions, last time I bet them on the road, it was against Baltimore, and they got absolutely boat raced. Give me the home team with points.
My lock of the week is the 49ers. The 49ers are coming off 3 straight losses. More importantly, the 49ers are coming off an open date. Give me a good coach after an open date every single time. Kyle Shanahan's a really good coach. Look, the Jaguars are fine. They're whatever. This isn't about them. This is about the 49ers. 49ers, a 3-point road favorite coming off of 3 losses and an open date. If you would let me rack the rest of the year, this would be my lock of the year.
Really? Are you? Because I actually had the other side of this bet.
This would be my lock of the year.
I had the other side of the bet. You are not worried about the West Coast team playing at 1 o'clock in Jacksonville.
No, not off a week off.
You're not worried about playing the 6-2 Jacksonville Jaguars.
Nice record, but it's a bit of a mirage when you start going deep, digging into who the Jaguars actually are. I do like Doug Peterson. I do think he is a good coach. But
that's not Urban Meyer anymore.
No, I know. Kyle Shanahan, that's my pick. Let's go to your prop of the week.
I'm actually doing an on-the-fly change on the prop. Give me the Tommy DeVito over 0.5 INTs, given the fact that the money does not matter here. We're going to hit that bet. I want to bet this game so bad in so many different ways. The line on, all right, so the game, let's go over the game.
Yeah. So the Giants at Cowboys.
The Giants are going to travel to Jerry's town and play the Cowboys. The Giants are horrendous. Of course, Daniel Jones, season-ending injury.
Yeah. I think the Giants have quit on their team. I think they've quit on the season.
I think this is one of the worst teams we've ever seen. Like, this is an unbelievably bad team. Tommy DeVito, for those who don't know, Northeastern kid, Don Bosco Prep's finest, which if you built a team of Don Bosco Prep players.
Okay. Don't get started. They were one of my rivals.
Are they really?
Don't get me started. His name is Poor Tommy DeVito because while he was playing at Syracuse, he got his brains beat in because they had me and you blocking for him. Ultimately, he transferred to Illinois, where he had a modicum of success last year. Ends up playing for his hometown Giants. On the season, he is 17 of 27, 174 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So you're saying,
wait, he only has 174 yards? Wait. But he threw for 175 last week, Joe.
Yes, because he had a negative appearance. His first NFL action was two completion, 2 of 7 for -1 yards against the Jets. So you're going pick here. That's what your play
give
is.
Give me INT.
All right.
INT. All I need is an INT.
Feels very easy. I am going to swerve and go back to a home team, even though it is Matt Canada. You got to remember, Mike Tomlin never has a losing season, so he has to rack up the games that he can win. And I do believe this is one of those weeks against the Packers at home. It's 3.5. Give me my boy, Matt Canada, now calling the plays from the sideline. That's all he needed, Anthony. He just needed to get on the grass.
Do you like sideline Canada more than up top Canada?
They're pretty much the same.
Is it because the camera doesn't really see him as much because he like blends into the players, so he can't be the press box thing?
He can hide more. And of course, we have our Jets pick of the week. The Jets are at the Raiders. The Raiders going with Antonio Pierce as an interim coach. They showed some serious signs of life last week under Pierce. 1-point home dog against a Jets team after getting waxed by the Chargers last week. We are both in agreement this week, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely. I like the Raiders team the rest of the way here. I'd watch this because this is like when you unleash the dogs and they're ready. They could go do their thing now. I mean, there's some good players in the Raiders. I think McDaniel's terrible. I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team, but they're going to pick some people off here and they're going to upset people. Max Crosby's going to give Zach Wilson. He's going to give him a lot of problems.
Unleash the fury, Mitch. Unleash the fury.
Send them.
Let them loose. We're both going Raiders. We'll keep an eye on that. Again, we're looking for the OG or the GIGLIO menu item. We're now 13 and 13. We are all locked up this year. So let's now go to our OG, our Oakwood Pizza Box question of the week. This one actually comes from Anthony, who's in the Eford Studios. Anthony, go ahead.
I need to know if Ovius is eating pizza in Detroit. Are you a Detroit pizza guy, GIGLIO?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 48 years old. I probably was 45 when I discovered that Detroit pizza was a thing.
It became a thing recently, though. To be fair to you, like it became a thing.
You have a competitor in town who does a Detroit pizza night on Monday nights. They actually do a pretty good job with it. I like Detroit pizza because I like all square pizza.
Yeah, you like the double cook.
I like all square pizza. I like those the burnt edges. I kind of like that, the thing that they do, the Detroit style.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. This was not something that I was familiar with growing up in New Jersey.
No, but Buddy's has been there forever. It's just the internet didn't find Buddy's for a while. Buddy's the OG Detroit pizza spot. Little known fact, same family name as mine. Don't think we're relatives. However, we are pizza kin. Gus Guerra was the founder of Buddy's.
Where is Buddy's?
Buddy's is in Detroit. That's
okay.
They like created the style based off of the automotive blue steel pans.
Oh, it's about the pan.
The pan is everything.
Okay.
The pan is a different pan than what anyone else. It's not like a Sicilian pan we see in New York. It's not like what we use here in Oakwood. Like, it is totally different.
So you couldn't make a Detroit style pizza, a true Detroit style pizza, if you wanted to.
No, I mean, if I bought the pan, yes. But
Sure.
The pan is about 90% of what that pizza is.
And that's what makes the cheese the cheese?
No, the cheese is a block cheese, separate cheese, but cheese to the edge in a blue steel pan is pretty much that is the category type. Double cooked as well. So you're gonna take like a really soft dough, wet dough, tacky dough, cook it once, pull it, sauce, cheese, cook it again, and that's what's gonna get crispy and burnt, and sort of give you that, like, when it's done right, that crunchy chew thing.
For me, and I was in one of those wackadoo big stores where they make pizza. It's not a department store. It's a chain store. They make pizza and you can go watch them make the pizza. And I thought of you yesterday because I'm like, there's way too much sauce and there's way too much cheese on that pizza. And I remember what you told Coach Elliott Avant. Just minimal. Take even less than you think of the sauce. Even less than you think.
It's about half
the cheese.
It's about half what you think.
Yeah.
It really is every time.
So with the Detroit style, would there be more cheese? Is that how they get it to the edges, or you're just saying it's strictly the pan?
No. You're going to take the cheese and you're going to bring it to the edge on purpose.
Okay.
Like, you intentionally burn the cheese. So, like, in order for it to do, it has to go over towards the crust, so it kind of crisp up against that steel pan.
That was our Oakwood Pizza Box pizza question of the week. It is Thursday. That means, as Joe Ovius knows, Thursday means Oakwood Pizza Box is open. Go check them out on Person Street or order online, oakwoodpizzabox.com. Go in, get the square, tell them that the OG sent you. Joining me now on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, Josh Goodson, RTP Mortgage, Josh Goodson, Carolina grad, Josh Goodson, NC State super fan. Josh, not going to lie to you, you helped me this week. This MJ Morris situation, you told me this thing was real, that I should look into it, and I did. And so I owe you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You say I don't ever do anything for you. You say I just try to paint this picture of, like, you're the bad guy, and it's always hating Joe, and I try to help you whenever I can, buddy. So I'm glad that you were able to get what you needed out of that.
Well, I'm glad you're here too to save us from what it was been a disaster of a picking season for me. 2-1 last week. I had 2 losses with Texas, and Ole Miss was a push that were absolutely the kind of games that would make you give up gambling. Texas was up 27-7 and ended up losing.
Texas was bad. No, Texas won, but they didn't cover.
They didn't cover. They might as well have lost. If you're not going to win, you should lose in my book. And Ole Miss was also up by 2 scores and ended up pushing. So F both of them. You ended up going 2-1. Your only loss was Georgia, who continues to confound you. I feel like every week Georgia likes to put the hex on you. So on the season, we have 12, 18-2. Dear Lord, you're 14-7-1. But again, you see those green wins over there. You've been hotter as of late than certainly I have. And of course, all of our picks are brought to you by RTP Mortgage, rtpmortgage.com. Josh Goodson, listen, I understand right now. Just like you help me, I go to you help me. I'm trying to help you because there's some people out there who think, man, this market is crazy. Giglio, what the heck am I going to do talking to the mortgage guy? Well, first of all, Josh is an expert. He's got my loan. I've been to him for the cash out refi. I've been to him to refi. I've been to him to say, hey, what can I afford? What can I do? Because I don't know, but Josh does. So give him a call, 252-361-1415. It's 252-361-1415, or go to rtpmortgage.com. This is where I tell you his NMLS number is 1569995 so that Josh can keep his license, correct?
That is correct. And you are exactly right, Joseph. Most people have no clue what they can afford. I run into it every day. Like, I've heard rates are high and prices are high, and then I tell them you can afford X amount of a payment, and they're like, that's actually less than my rent is right now.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
People just don't know what they don't know. So reach out. Love to help.
Okay. Let's go through our picks this week because we have our teams. We have State as a 2-point favorite down in Winston-Salem, where they have lost 9 of their last 10 games. Dave Doran did win there in 2015, but this has been a hellish spot for the Wolfpack traditionally. I don't even need to tell you that I'm not taking State. You probably don't even need to tell me that you are taking State. Does the quarterback change make any difference in this one to you?
No. I don't want to sit here and say they're going to be better without MJ Morris, but I don't think that the offense that we've seen post the bye is an offense that Brennan Armstrong should be able to plug in and be good in, if not still good, and also still give the element of running the ball, from a quarterback perspective. So I am taking State, even though I told you this on Monday. I hate the spot for State.
Yep.
I hate it. Just the actual take the Winston-Salem Wake out of it. It would literally be any road game in this. I mean, you just beat Clemson and Miami at home, and
as we know, everybody plays the Super Bowl. Wake has not played their Super Bowl yet.
Well, in Wake, I actually texted a Wake buddy, and I said, this is not condescending, but Wake cares about beating State probably more than anyone else they play year in and year out. And that doesn't often happen when teams play NC State. It might happen when East Carolina plays them. That's maybe the only other time. But Wake does. And it's the same way State cares about playing UNC, right? So it's not a condescending little brother, big brother thing by no means. It's just
I feel like you're trying to say condescending, but you're throwing in condensation in there. But we're going to let it slide because, again, you helped me this week, and I'm not supposed to be giving you a hard time.
Anyways, I hate the spot, but I just listened to Dave Doran's availability today.
Yeah.
And Salty Dave and us against the world Dave, or us against like weird outside stuff happening Dave, that stuff goes through the locker room, I think. And I think the team is actually they've been playing well, but I think this is like a way that what happened this week with MJ Morris, I think, is actually maybe galvanizing, and they're going to fight for Brennan Armstrong.
Yes. I think this improves their chances of winning the football game.
And they're going to fight to also kind of show
that the ones who want to be there and want to win. All right. Carolina back at home plays Duke. This is their last home game. Kind of sort of feel like Drake May is trolling Russell Wilson by not participating in senior day, which would be his final home game. I think everyone knows he's going to be the number 1 and the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. Carolina, though, use the alarm sound. I don't have them because OVS isn't here, but use the alarm sound. Carolina is a double-digit favorite in an ACC game. This is like, under all circumstances, do not take Carolina. It's 14.5. I don't care that it's Duke's third-string quarterback. I know Mike Elko. Just as we've praised Dave Doran when their backs are against the wall, Mike Elko finds a way to get his team fired up. I think Duke fights in this game, even if Carolina wins. I don't think they cover the big number.
I agree on that. We saw Drake May's not good with pressure. He didn't show it last year, and in like the 2 main times that he had pressure against State. Duke's defense is still really good. 14.5 is just too
aggressive.
Much. 14.5 is too much. And I'm with you on that. I'm off of. I haven't picked Duke right, I don't think, in a game yet this year. So this is the game that UNC wins by 30, I'm sure. But I'm taking Duke as well.
All right, and let's close out our RTP Mortgage College locks of the week with our lock of the week, because you know why, Josh?
I want winners.
Yeah, I want winners. So give me your lock of the week.
Kind of going against a principle of mine, but I don't
Yeah.
hate the spot. I don't
Okay.
I don't like taking teams when they pour it out against a good team and lose and have nothing to show for it. Now, here's the caveat. I will never take a team who's on the road immediately after. Okay. Missouri played last week against Georgia, played well. I don't know. I didn't watch that game. I can't sit here and tell you that they should have won or it felt like they should have won, but it was a good game that they probably poured it out against Georgia. They are going home. So that's kind of different than my usual principle. Taking Missouri at home against Tennessee because Tennessee has the look ahead of all look ahead spots. They are hosting Georgia next week in Knoxville. I like Missouri in this spot to cover at home against Tennessee.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I thought Tennessee was going to be really good this year. They're not. They're just okay.
No.
They're just okay.
They're fine.
And on the flip side of this principle, Rutgers last week fought their sack off against Ohio State. That final score was a bit deceiving. They were actually winning at halftime against the Ohio State. They are deflated, and Greg Schiano wants to play one way and one way only. And you are now going to play the team on the road who plays that one way and one way only better than anyone else. Mm-hmm. And that is the Iowa Hawkeyes. I am going with Iowa at home. Principal play. You don't out Iowa, and you're coming off of a deflating, pour it out loss at home to the Ohio State. Joe Ovius is actually in Detroit. I'm actually going to bet on this football game.
What's the total on that game?
The total on this game, I believe they're claiming is a record, and I was just about to look it up for you because I think it's either 28 or 27. Like that's bonkers.
That's ridiculous.
Iowa, by the way, is 7-2 on the season. The total is 28.5, and people are hammering the under.
And they're only laying one at home. Yeah, I'm with you. I love
people
that.
People are hammering the under. Iowa coming off of a 10-7. Man, the Iowa scores will make your eyes bleed. Josh, appreciate your help this week, man. Best of luck to you. And yes, follow Josh's picks. Perhaps it's time to fade my picks. We'll do this again next week in more of our regular format. Appreciate you guys all for checking us out. And again, if you're here on the YouTubes, check out those comments. Leave your own picks. Tell us we stink. Tell us we're great. Either way, subscribe and do all the good things that help us here at the OG Media Company. See you guys next week on Picks and Pizza.